Why would it take someone to confess to a murder 18 years later? Why wouldn't they give their parents the closure they need? When we all knew from the beginning he held the key to solving this case. Stay tuned while we talk about this murderer, this serial killer. Good evening, my Cajun cuties. How are y'all today? Happy Wicked Wednesday. I am so happy that y'all tuning in to me, Anne Marie, aka the Cajun Crime Queen from Carencro, Louisiana. Cajun born, Cajun bred, and when I die, I'll be Cajun dead. I hope y'all having a great night so far. I hope y'all got y'all some exercise. I hope y'all have a beverage and y'all ready to cuddle up with me, Anne Marie, to hear about this case. Now, as y'all see, I have a football jersey on. Yes. And can y'all guess what movie it's from? It's from my favorite movies in the 80s. I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard of it. It is Wildcats with Goldie Hawn. And my favorite character in the movie is Jermaine. And one of my friends a couple of years ago got me his jersey and his name is on the back. So today I'm Jermaine from the movie. And I'm totally excited because I love to wear this jersey. It's oversized. It feels good. You know, girls we love to wear oversized shirts, you know. But we also have to keep something in mind today, in that today is the 29th anniversary of Michael and Alex Smith. Susan Smith, who we just talked about on Sunday, she is the lady that drove her two boys into John D. Long Lake. And today, it is 29 years ago that happened. My heart goes out to the family. My prayers go out to the family. And I hope that they are being remembered today in a special way. Who are we going to talk about today? I wonder who it is. And maybe I'll give y'all a clue when I tell you that this person has been around for almost 2 decades, supposedly only killing 2 people. But I think, in my personal opinion, there is a lot more than just 2. So who are we going to talk about today? Drum roll. Joran Van der Sloot. Joran Van der Sloot was born August 6th of 1987 in the Netherlands. His mother and father, Anita and Paulus Van der Sloot, and he had 2 brothers. In 1990, his family moved to Aruba, where Joran was an honor student at the International School of Aruba. He also played tennis. He also was a star football player. He even was so good at tennis that he competed in doubles with his father in 2005, hoping to attend the St. Leo University. He was great. He was wonderful. He was doing his thing. But his mother said he was a habitual liar. He would sneak out of the house at night to go to casinos. He was acting violently towards his brothers and his family. So what did his family decide to do? He needs counseling. I totally agree. If yourself or someone you know is acting up, get them some help. Let them talk to someone. They got him that help. But wait, where's my red flag? First red flag of Joran Van der Sloot. His father would give him money to go to casinos and give him the keys to drive, which in Aruba, the legal age to drive is 18 and gamble. So Joran's father was contributing to this behavior of lying and sneaking out the house the whole time he's going to counseling. And it was said that from a lot of people that Joran was his parents' boss. He ran the show. I don't know about y'all, but in my house, my kids don't run anything with me. But they were, I think in my opinion, I think they were kind of scared of Joran. I think he had this violent temper and he was lying all the time and sneaking out of the house. I think they were worried, so they just kind of went with the flow, which is always not a good thing. On May 29th of 2005, it was just a typical night. Joran played pokers. It was said he frequented late night bars. It is also said he was suspected on several occasions, of slipping the date rape drug into women's drinks, which is another red flag. Now, there was not enough evidence for this, so the police really couldn't do anything about it. But there was a woman that was supposed to come forward and give an interview to prove these allegations. But at the last minute of the interview, she decided to back out and said, no, I'm not giving an interview. Now, in my opinion, I think she was scared, or maybe paid off, or maybe threatened. There is something that stopped her from giving that interview. And I always wanted to know What do y'all think it was? What do y'all think, in your opinion, that it was? Why was she lying? Was she realizing like, oh no, I don't know anything, let me not talk? I don't know what it is, but maybe y'all can tell me in the comments. Well, that night at Carlos and Charlie's bar, Jordan met a beautiful Alabama girl, Natalee Holloway. She was doing her thing. She was on her senior trip with her friends. She was having a good old time. She was a Southern girl, like your girl, Anne Marie. She was just a great beauty. She excelled at everything she did. Now, it was said that her and Jordan danced all night. They drank. They had a good old time. And at 1 a.m., she was last seen getting into the car with Jordan and his two friends. They were two brothers, Deepak and Satish Kalpo. Now, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm trying to sound it out. But she left with Jordan and the two brothers. The next day, no one heard from Natalee. They searched everywhere. She didn't show up. They couldn't find her. So they notified the police. And the police spoke to the two brothers and Jordan. But y'all, they lied so much. They lied so much, especially Jordan, who's a habitual liar. I think the brothers were just thrown into the mess. I don't know. But Jordan at first said, oh no, I dropped her off at the hotel. That's the last time I saw her. And then he changed his story and he said at her request, he dropped her off at the beach alone. It just didn't make sense. And when Natalee's mother came down, because of course she's worried about her child, do y'all know what Jordan told this mother who was looking for her daughter? Do you know how scary that is as a parent to know your daughter's missing in a country, another country? You don't even know where to begin. He told Natalee's mother, well, the last time that I saw her was while the two brothers were driving around and she was giving me oral sex. Why on earth would you tell this poor mother that about her daughter when there's absolutely no truth to that? Obviously, it was a lie. He was just trying to boost his ego. That's just my personal opinion. I think that Jordan just wanted to get away with this, but he didn't. He wanted to boast about something. Yeah. Thousands of media outlets started showing the disappearance of Natalee Holloway. Her mother brought private detectives in. The police were searching. They just were looking for Natalee everywhere. Now, on June 9th, the police had enough. Y'all, they arrested everybody. Everybody was arrested. Everybody. Jordan was arrested. The two brothers were arrested. Jordan's father was arrested. Everybody was arrested. He gave so many stories. It was ridiculous. The cops just didn't know what to believe. It was so many stories, but they just didn't have enough evidence to keep Jordan. They just didn't have anything on him for this case, which is sad. Now, y'all, I remember this case like it was yesterday, 18 years ago. I said from day one that he did it. I said that in my opinion, I thought that he had murdered her and put her in the ocean because they couldn't find her body. That's all, or he buried her somewhere. That's automatically always thought that, because if he was in fact the last person to see her, why change the story so many times? Why? For what? And not just change the story. It's like so many stories. There was also a hidden camera where Jordan said that Natalee had a seizure. He was calling her names. It was just crazy. And in 2008, he reported a mental facility in Germany for evaluations, which is great. I think he really needed help, but he didn't stay there long. He really didn't stay there long. I think it was just to go. He also decided to move to Thailand, where he went to college, but of course he dropped out, and supposedly he was trying to start a prostitution ring in Thailand, but nothing ever came of that. So what did Jordan do next? He started playing in poker tournaments, y'all. South America, Europe, Asia, all over the world. Must be nice, you know, traveling like that, just doing your thing. But it was said that Jordan was a hustler. He would hustle money from anybody and everybody, family, friends, anyone that would pay him for an interview, he would want to talk to them, which is crazy. But Jordan constantly wanted to be involved in my opinion, in the Natalee Holloway disappearance. So the spotlight was never off of him, but he didn't want to be involved in it. You know what I'm saying? Like he wanted both worlds. He wanted to always be connected to this case, but didn't want to be sent to jail for it. What do y'all think? That's just what I think, in my opinion. In 2010, Joran came back to Aruba to attend his father's funeral, who had passed away while he was playing tennis due to a cardiac arrest. Joran was heartbroken. But while he was there, y'all, he was still giving all these stories. He was still giving all these different stories to everybody about what happened to Natalee. Now, we are going to speak about someone who I kind of feel is kind of misplaced in this case of Joran Van der Sloot. We concentrate so much on Natalee Holloway, but there is another woman, Stephanie Flores, who he murdered. And my heart goes out to her. And almost 5 years to the day, on May 30th of 2010, he met Stephanie. Now, supposedly they hung out or whatever. Well, he went to the casino. She found a laptop in his hotel room. I guess she Googled him. Well, when he came in from wherever, he said he flew into a rage because she questioned Joran. She says, hey, you know, what are these accusations about you with Natalee Holloway? What are all these things they're saying? Well, he flew into a rage, he said, because of marijuana and alcohol, and beat her to death. He said, oh, I didn't mean to do it, but her neck was broken. So I think he totally meant to do it. I think he was the type of person, he was a narcissist, like, don't question me. Nobody question me. This is what I do. Now, he leaves. Joran leaves, and they find him. Of course, he was in Peru. They find him guilty. He's sentenced to 28 years in jail in Peru. Now, while in jail in Peru, anytime he needed money, he would make up a new story about Natalee because he wanted people to come interview him to pay him. And also while he was in jail, which I don't understand how this happens. I don't know. Maybe y'all can tell me. I always want y'all comments and your opinions. Now, he met his wife in prison. She got pregnant while he was in prison. And in 2014, she married him and gave birth to their daughter. Now, I don't know how what goes on in this prison. I don't know how it works. And I don't know why in the world would anyone want to get involved with a prisoner. And especially one that was murdering people, women. That's just crazy to me. But I don't know, maybe they fell in love. Maybe, you know, she loved him. But of course that didn't last because Joran hooked up with another girl who was a lot younger, and supposedly she was trying to sneak drugs into the prison, and they both got in trouble. He has not been any type of stellar prisoner. He has been acting up over there too. And y'all, whenever I watched what kind of surroundings he was in this jail, it is not a pretty sight. And he also is 6'5", and he towers over everyone because everyone is littler there. And it's so crazy how he just sticks out. He just sticks out like a sore thumb there. But they say the prisoners say they have accepted him, and they just, you know, he's one of them. Here we are on October 18th, and Joran finally decides to admit to Natalee Holloway's murder, the beautiful Alabama girl who was on her senior trip. He told the cops how he murdered Natalee. He said that they drove around, they went to the beach, they were kissing, and then they stopped, and they were kissing again, but he wanted more, so he tried to grope her, and she was like, no. And then he tried again, and she got angry, which is good, and she kneed him in the crotch. She was done. You know, she was like, nope, you're not getting all over me. Well, he got up, and he was so angry and so enraged, and he had a violent temper, that as hard as he could, he said he kicked Natalee in the face. And then he looked around and saw there was a cinder block and smashed her face in, which is absolutely disgusting and horrible. Then after that, he picks her up like, what am I going to do? And walks up to his knees and lets her body go into the ocean. That's just crazy to me. That's just insane to me that someone would do that and have absolutely no remorse for what he just did. In fact, he said, after that, I just walked home. I went home. I didn't have remorse. No. Now, do y'all remember when I talked earlier about Joran saying that Natalee gave him oral sex while the brothers drove around? Now we know that's definitely not true, which we knew all along, but now it's confirmed, because if she didn't even want to barely kiss you on the beach, she didn't want to give you oral sex in the car. So I don't know why he would say that to Natalee's mother, but we know he is a liar. Now, I believe this story. I think this is the end. I think it's done. But he has given so many stories, y'all. He has given several different stories. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that this is a whole new story, a new version? Well, Jordan tried to get $250,000 from Natalee's mother. You know, he was like, I'll tell you the location of her body. She had already given him $25,000. She was trying to do anything she could to find her daughter. Well, he was sentenced to 20 years for extortion and wire fraud. He's just going to be added to his sentence in Peru. And now I feel that Natalee's family finally has closure, because that would be devastating to never know what happened to your child. And if your child is still out there somewhere, you're always searching, you're always hoping, you're always looking. But now the family said they can finally just close this chapter of their life, always remembering Natalee and her good spirits. It was said that Jordan had a rare combination of things. They said he was a sociopath, a psychopath, and had antisocial personality disorder. They said he was also a pathological liar, meaning he would lie when he didn't have to lie. He would just go around lying. And sometimes he was incapable of telling the truth. They also said that he was a narcissist, which is obvious. It is so obvious. He thinks he has a sense of entitlement, no empathy for other human beings. He was just a person that was kind of all about him and him only. Didn't worry about the people around him, which narcissists do. They only worried about themselves. They're not worried about anybody else except themselves. And to me, that was the most obvious trait that he had, in my opinion, was being a narcissist. Now, a lot of y'all might be saying, well, I know people that are narcissists, or I know people that are psychopaths or sociopaths or antisocial personality, and then they're not out there killing people. No. People respond differently with these disorders. And in my opinion, I think Jordan was just a bad person. I mean, he had no right to do what he did. And I think that my heart goes out to these families, Stephanie's and Natalee's, because they lost their daughter for what? For no reason. No reason at all. Nothing happened. There was no reason for it. My final thought. Y'all know I always give y'all my final thought at the end of my video. I think Jordan was crazy. I think he was a narcissist. I think he had absolutely no feelings for anyone but himself. I don't care. I don't think he cared about hurting people. I don't think he cared about what would happen if something happened to someone. I think it was just, it was his world and everybody was just living in it. And when I watched the video of the jail in Peru that he's at right now, the prisoners and the people seem so nice and so accepting. They just seem like good people. And then you got Jordan over there. No telling what he's doing over there. Probably being bad, doing something else that he's not supposed to. Well, we know he is. He's probably lying and doing all kind of crazy stuff. But anyway, a lot of y'all might say, why are we doing this case? Because he's not actually a serial killer. And it kind of doesn't fall in the case of the Ted Bundys and the Jeffrey Dahmers and the Derek Todd Lees and the Ronald Dominique. It doesn't fall into the category of that. But in my personal opinion, there are more that we just don't know about. And some people say there isn't because he would boast about it. But I think there's more that we just don't know about that has always been sealed tight and lips closed. But I also think that This case held special to my heart, and I always say to myself, I want to know what I can cover next, because I want there to be some type of sign or some type of hey, this is what you have to do. And I got mine because, y'all, I believe in that kind of stuff. I'm like that. But my daughter is 18. I was pregnant with my daughter in 2005 while this case was going on. I remember it like it was yesterday. And Natalee was 18. My daughter's 18, and it happened 18 years ago. I figured there was a sign, and I get it now, because now I am so aware of what happens in other places when we send our children. We don't know what's going on, and we can't blame other countries, because everywhere in the world, there are bad people. There are bad people. People go to different countries all the time and have the time of their life. And I just feel that in this case, Natalee was a victim, as well as Stephanie, of a horrible person who was just a bad seed, in my opinion. And I hope that they finally have the justice that they need and the closure they need. And it's kind of sad that Natalee's family will never get to bury her. You know, she's in the ocean somewhere. Oh, it breaks my heart, y'all. It breaks my heart so much. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. I hope y'all like, subscribe, comment. It's a free way to help this Cajun cutie out. I also hope y'all press on that notification bell to never miss a video from yours truly, Anne Marie, aka the Cajun Crime Queen. I hope y'all have a great week. I hope y'all have a great weekend, and stay tuned for next Wednesday when we explore another Wicked Wednesday case. Bye.